First of all, congrats on the victory.
Thank you.
What does this victory just mean for you guys? The big way to start off the season. Like, what's just the mindset now moving forward?
At the beginning of camp, or even a little further back at the beginning of spring practice, coming off 2 championships, with a few new guys, we wanted this team to kind of form their own identity. So I couldn't tell you what it was before today. I just knew we had a good team. I didn't necessarily know what the identity was, but they kind of showed me a little bit of that today, how they want to play, some dominating the line of scrimmage type of football. So, I was happy to see that, but, I'm glad for the team. It's far from about me. It's about these young men who kind of follow everything I say on a daily basis and make it happen. So hats off to them guys for the way they played today.
Coach, Keto Sultan, Stark County Prep Press. How important was it to hold Miles College to a field goal early that set the tone for your 45 unanswered point barrage?
It was our defense played lights out. Kind of picked up where they left off last year. Coach Porter and the rest of the defensive staff do an awesome job, to kind of get us over there. And we got a lot of talented guys over there that make it happen, like the one sitting next to me. So it was encouraging to watch that. Defense wins championships. Offense makes people kind of excited and do some things, but defense wins championships. So, I was happy to see that today.
Timothy Milam, Director of Creative Services for VUU. How do you keep the players grounded out and focused after such a lopsided win?
I mean, that's a good question, Tim. I think we take this time off to get better. I think they say, back in the day, my college coach used to say you get best between your first and your second game. So I think some of our best football is still left to be played in front of us. We left a lot of things out there, and there was a lot of things I thought we could have did a little better. But that's just me kind of being nitpicky a little bit. But I think the guys played well. I think you take this win in. We're gonna take this bus ride back to enjoy it. But as soon as we get back, we're right back to work.
It's a big job you did today. Congratulations. Being your second time back here.
Appreciate it.
So, 2003, over 90 points worth. But how did you put together this team after losing 17 guys to the portal and bring in another group of guys to come in and get the victory to start the season?
I mean, it's a testament. I think I'm sitting beside the testament to both sides of that story. You look, to my left, and you got a guy that's been here for 3 years, and kind of stuck through the program and kind of grounded it out. And you look to my right, and you got a guy who we just brought in January, and you take that in the big old pot and stir it, and everybody just buys in. That's the biggest thing. I think when you look at, some of the success we've had, it's been because of a lot of buy-in. I have a bunch of great players, a bunch of great coaches, a great administration, a great wife. Where's she at? We're back there, I mean, it all works out, and everybody plays for 11. So, it makes it work.
Coach Parker, what were some key moments from today's game that you felt like you really stood out and defined the game plan going into today?
I think, we kind of settled on the game plan a little earlier in the week, some things we felt pretty good about, because I think coming into the first game, you got to just be good at what you're good at. They had a lot of things that we kind of questioned that we just didn't know, so instead of taking the time to try to figure out the things that they were good at, we took the time to figure out what we were good at and just concentrating on doing what we were good at doing. And once we kind of did that, no matter what they did, I felt like we were going to be good. So, again, like I say, these guys, the rest of the guys back there in the locker room that's kind of enjoying this win, they played their butts off, but we're going to go and get those small things that I think we can correct. We're going to get those correct before we play another ball game.
Mel Thor, 216 Sports Network. This is for RJ. RJ, 9-15, 121 TD. How are you planning on capitalizing in week 2 from this performance?
Honestly, just taking my coaching. Coach Parker does a great job of putting me in position and understanding the scheme of what our offense is planning to do and what the defense is planning to give us. So just taking the coaching, going back to the drawing board. I do feel I left a lot out. So, just going back to the X's and O's and executing a lot better.
I'll take a question for you, Makai. I know Coach often talks about you guys earning opportunities, so then how do you feel like you translated that with the defensive group in this game?
I feel like that's it's really easy. Our coaches set clear expectations. We're led by great men, so it's easy to follow what they say. You understand? They follow their words, so it makes it easy for us to do that. I play with a team full of guys who we hold each other accountable. You understand? We understand that everyone's great, and when an opportunity arises, we just play and do the best that we can.
Coach, just put eyes on you. Looking at a 3P. How does this get you ready for next? Well, we got to buy next time. How does it get ready for the following week?
I mean, you go back now. We got something to kind of correct. I think we were looking at a lot of stuff because we got to this week and I felt like we were doing so many things right, and I guess it translated over to the game. So now we really get something to coach. So we're gonna kind of go back. Kind of dig in this film. On the itinerary, it got us meeting tomorrow. We right back to work. So I tell these guys all the time, you get 12 hours to enjoy a victory, and then it's right on to the next one. So I'm gonna let them enjoy it. We're gonna go get some food after this, and we're gonna probably slap a movie on and get this ride on back. And tomorrow we'll be back ready for the work.
RJ, for today's decisive win, what did you feel like personally clicked for you out on the field? Like at what moment did it click?
I think personally for me, it clicked when, like I said, me and Coach Parker were really close. And when I told him, hey, I like this, we got to keep it going, they can't stop it. And he rode with it. And then I'm always teasing him all the time, like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? And like, make no mistake, I'm forever in debt to him. I was sleeping on the couch before he called me. So it kind of clicked there when me and him, we were eye to eye, and I was like, okay, we just got to go out there and finish.
This is the quarterback. RJ, you gained 375 yards on the ground rushing. You threw the ball for 187 yards. Was that the game plan once you figured out that this offense could just run on this team, or did you want to throw more?
Honestly, just take what they give us. That wasn't the plan. But, just staying true to the coaching. Like I said, we're going to go back to the drawing board. And, I'm just happy that my guys helped me out. They made it easy for me. And, I can't complain. I got Curtis Allen to carry the load. I got a group of amazing receivers, and I have an amazing front line. So, just taking what they give me and working as a unit.
This is for RJ and Makai. You guys get to play bright lights at the Hall of Fame. How does it feel for you getting to the Hall of Fame and getting in front of the big show?
It's amazing. It's a surreal feeling. Your whole life you wanna play in front of the big lights. You wanna travel for a good team. It put all that into perspective. I feel like you go your whole life to get to this place. You understand? And by this place, I mean with this team. But we got a lot more ball playing to do.
Everything and more. I'm from an area where Deion Sanders and Edwin James are from. So just coming here and putting on to where, those guys are symbolized, and just sharing this with my team. We got a lot of new guys that they've never experienced this before, and just going in and coming out on the right foot and trying to set the tone for the season.
For the both of you, Makai, RJ, how does it feel knowing that there are NFL scouts circling this program, and how do you guys stay motivated knowing this?
That's an amazing thing to think about. We try not to think about it too much. You understand? We have things that we have to do, and as long as we do the things that our coaches are telling us, or we pick our teammates up, the rest of that'll come. But we focus on just playing a good game and taking it play by play, day by day.
Absolutely, what he said 100%. I'm a firm believer in God, and I feel my story's already written. Same way a lot of my teammates' stories already written. So as long as we stick to the game plan and we keep trusting in Coach Parker, everything's going to align how it's supposed to.
Last one.
Last question? Okay. What kind of message did you guys hope this performance sends to all of your opposing teams moving forward?
We're here to play together. We're a team. We don't have too many individuals. We want to build on this, of course, but we want to become even closer as a team and just know that we're not going to break. We're going to keep coming.
To add on to that, I would say honestly is we're not stuck on the past. We turn on a new broadcast. We're keeping our eyes forward, eyes always on the prize, and we just want to play ball together.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.